All right, good evening. Welcome to the October 8th, 2025 School Committee meeting. This meeting will be broadcast live and recorded by Foxborough Cable Access. We're going to start off tonight with the Pledge of Allegiance, and we have Joe Garrity, who's offered to lead us.
All right, with the flag this way. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you very much. Okay, we're going to start off with open public comment, and I see we have two here. We're going to start off with the kindergarten teachers. If you can just come up and just give us your name and your address, please, if you don't mind.
I'm Erin McCarthy, 387 South Street in Foxborough. I'm also the FEA Vice President.
I'm Jennifer Cronin. I live in Norwood, 341 Railroad Ave in Norwood, Massachusetts.
I'm Elaine, Nally. I'm a resident of Wrentham and work at the Taylor School.
So this is going to be our second edition of the FEA Spotlight feature series. We just thought you should know. Educational assistants are the heartbeat of a thriving kindergarten classroom. Their presence transforms the learning environment from simply functional to truly inclusive, nurturing, and dynamic. In these early years, when children are just beginning to navigate social norms, academic routines, and emotional regulation, educational assistants provide the scaffolding that makes meaningful learning possibilities for every child. Kindergarten classrooms are diverse by nature. Some students arrive already reading, while others are still learning to hold a pencil. Educational assistants help bridge these gaps by offering targeted support, whether it's guiding a child through phonics, helping with fine motor skills, or simply being a calming presence during moments of emotional overwhelming. For students with unique needs, such as selective mutism or developmental delays, assistants often become trusted allies, helping them to access a curriculum in ways that make them feel safe and empowering. Assistants bring creativity, energy, and all that enrich classroom activities. They help manage centers, facilitate small group work, and introduce playful learning strategies that keep students engaged. Their ability to float between groups allow the lead teacher to focus on instruction while knowing that the students are supported in their exploration or play. This dual presence fosters a classroom culture where curiosity is celebrated and every child feels seen. Educational assistants are vital collaborators. They communicate with teachers, interventionists, and other staff, offering insight that might otherwise go unnoticed. Their observations often inform goal setting and intervention plans, especially in the early identification of learning or behavioral challenges. In classrooms where assistants are empowered to contribute meaningfully, the results are a more cohesive, responsive education team. Kindergarteners need emotional anchors. Educational assistants often served as those anchors, comforting a child who misses home, help resolve peer conflicts, or simply offering a reassuring smile. Their presence ensures that classrooms remain a safe space both physically and emotionally and allow children to take risks, make mistakes, and grow. In short, our educational assistants are not just helpers, they are co-educators. They're advocates and champions of early learning. Their impact ripples beyond the classroom, shaping the foundational experience that will define a child's educational journey.
Good evening. I'm Jenny Cronin. I teach kindergarten at the Borough School, and this is from the three teachers, the teachers that I work with, Renee Muirhead, Ashley Sloan, and myself. Our educational assistants are truly remarkable. They do more in a single day than ever before, and their role has evolved dramatically over the years. In the past, kindergarten assistants primarily helped manage students, attend to their immediate needs, and support teachers by preparing materials for lessons. However, times have changed. The role of the educational assistant today is far more dynamic. It's more of a co-teaching, it's a partnership. With growing class sizes and an ever-expanding curriculum, the presence of an educational assistant is just not helpful, it's essential. Our assistants work alongside us to adapt and deliver curriculum that meets the needs of every learner. They lead small groups, they support individual students, and they contribute meaningfully to the whole group instruction. Beyond academics, our educational assistants play a crucial role in the student's social-emotional development. Administration, the school committee, and educators across this district are all proud of the fact that Foxborough Public Schools are trauma sensitive. Research and data remind us why this work is so important. Approximately 35 to 50% of students have experienced at least one adverse childhood experience, an ACE, and 1 in 9 students have experienced 3 or more. This reality has created a significant shift in the role of the educational assistant. More than ever before, our assistants are working closely with this population, providing daily support, building trusting relationships, and help students develop the skills they need to feel safe, regulated, and ready to learn. In every sense, our assistants are our right hand. The work of the kindergarten teachers would not be possible without their partnership, expertise, and dedication. Given this significant shift in responsibilities and expectations, it's both fair and necessary that educational assistants be respected and compensated accordingly. Their contributions are invaluable, and it's time that their pay reflects that. Thank you for your time and for recognizing the essential role of educational assistants in our schools.
I'm reading this statement on behalf of all the Taylor kindergarten teachers, Sharon Roberts, Teresa Culverhouse, and myself, Elaine, Nally. I'm here tonight to recognize and celebrate a group of professionals who are essential to the success of our youngest learners, our kindergarten educational assistants. Kindergarten is where many firsts happen. First time in a classroom, first time making friends, first time learning to share, read, write, and navigate the world beyond home. These transitions are important for young children, and educational assistants are right there to support them in every step of the way. They are the calm voice when a child is overwhelmed. They are the patient hands guiding a student to zip a jacket, pack a backpack, or hold a pencil with a pencil grasp to write their letters and numbers. They are the extra set of eyes helping identify when a student needs more support or a challenge. They help create classroom environments that are warm, structured, and inclusive, where every child feels safe and known. On any given day, our kindergarten educational assistants play a vital role in keeping learning on track. They step seamlessly into the role of classroom teacher when we are assessing students, attending PLC meetings, participating in curriculum planning, IEP meetings, or grade level team discussions, and kindergarten screening days. When a kindergarten teacher is absent, instruction continues without disruption because our assistants already know the students, the routines, the expectations, and the flow of daily instruction. Their presence ensures that learning remains consistent, stable, and supportive for our learners. Our educational assistants are not simply support staff. They teach, lead, manage, and nurture. They are essential partners in creating a smooth, effective, and responsive kindergarten experience for every child. We are so fortunate to have our educational assistants who bring such heart and professionalism to their work every day. Their impact is not just seen in kindergarten, but in every grade that follows because of the strong start they help provide. Let's recognize our kindergarten educational assistants, not just for what they do, but for how exceptionally they do it. They are, without a doubt, invaluable to our students, our teachers, our schools. Thank you for this opportunity to share how impactful our educational assistants truly are.
Thank you. I'd like to welcome Melissa Glass to the table.
My name is Melissa Glass, and I live at 80 Broadway in North Attleboro. Good evening. As you know, we are at the one-year mark of negotiating a fair contract for ed assistants and teachers. And although we have made progress, we are not yet near a fair contract. I've been an EA in Foxborough since 1998, and while my job title
Excuse
is
me,
the
Melissa.
same...
Melissa, just speak into the microphone so people at home can hear you. Sorry, she just gave me
That's okay.
a sign. Thank you.
And while my job title is the same, my current responsibilities are light years from what they were in my first years, yet my compensation has not grown at the same pace. Why is that? EAs make a difference in all of our students' lives. We work with the most vulnerable students as well as the children not on IEPs. During negotiations, you have heard over and over what EAs do daily, but yet the offer of 2% in the first year of the contract equates to about $30 a pay period pre-tax for those of us on the top step. EAs deserve a fair contract. Another issue that will not cost the district anything is allowing staff to take a personal day around a long weekend or vacation one time in the 3-year contract. Give us the respect we deserve as adults and trust in the people you hired to not take advantage of those days. I urge the school committee and the administration to consider our proposal seriously. As a Foxborough parent recently said to me, "You take care of our children, now it's time the town helps to take care of yours." As a side note, the Sun Chronicle earlier this week reported that Foxborough placed 48th in the state MCAS results, which was the highest in the Sun Chronicle area. And Niche has given Foxborough schools an A-. The scores may not be as high as you were hoping for, but every EA and teacher in the room should be congratulated. We need a fair contract. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, thank you very much. We're going to move along in our meeting to the approval of minutes. The first minutes I see here from the regular meeting on August 27th, 2025.
I make a motion to approve the Foxborough School Committee regular meeting minutes from August 27th, 2025.
Second.
Any further questions, comments, or discussion? Hearing none. All in favor of approving the minutes? And that would be 400. Thank you very much. And I have a policy subcommittee set of minutes here from September 24th, 2025.
I make a motion to approve the Foxborough Policy Subcommittee meeting minutes from September 24th, 2025.
Second.
Any further questions, comments, or discussion? All in favor? And that is, they are approved at 400. Thank you very much. All right, moving right along, we are going to go to everyone's favorite, teaching and learning highlights. Come on up here. Just keep in mind to grab a microphone when you're speaking so everyone can hear you at home too. Thank you.
Hi, good evening. Thank you for allowing us to present. So our presentation is a little bit more informal than we're used to. Rather than kind of a formal presentation with a lot of words, we kind of boil it down to what's simply important, and we just have pictures of our students, both at the Special Olympics and participating in unified sports and APE at the Borough and Ahern. So what prompted us to present today is the journey that we've been on over the past few years to really bring the Special Olympics, thanks to Colleen Foley, and unified sports, thanks to the team at the Ahern, which has earned us a very prestigious recognition from the Special Olympic Committee for both the Ahern and the Borough School to be recognized as two, the only town with two, I might add, two of the 17 schools in the Commonwealth that have been recognized by the Special Olympic Committee for our work in both Special Olympics, APE, and unified sports, and overall inclusion. So a big thank you to everybody not just sitting here, but also who are part of the regular school day. That includes related service providers, assistants, other special educators who you don't see here today. All those people really contributed heavily to this. So it's a recognition not only for us, but for our entire community. I'll hand it over to Colleen, and she can kind of explain a little bit about what the recognition means.
Sure. So Foxborough, we're actually very fortunate here in Foxborough. We learned just last year that not only are these two schools part of the recognition by the state for Special Olympics, but we're actually a unified champion school district. That means all 5 schools hit the 3 pillars of unified sports, inclusive youth leadership, as well as other inclusive practices. I forgot the 3rd pillar, sorry. Thank you, whole school engagement. So across the district, that's the standard. What stands out with us is we were able to give an application at each of our schools, and we've received national recognition at both of our schools for not only hitting those 3 pillars, but also 10 standards that go underneath each of those pillars, and demonstration that this is a sustainable model that will remain in place for future years to come. And I think that that's really cool that we've been able to see that in these schools, and I know that there's really hard work happening in all the schools across the district. So this is just, I feel, a standard in Foxborough, which is just wonderful to see. So I'm excited to take a look at some of the photos of the great things that we can sit here and talk all day, but it's the kids really that we're here for.
So there's a couple pictures here from the middle school. So I don't know if any of the middle school staff want to kind of comment.
On the top left, we have in the yellow shirt is Daniel McLaughlin. He is now currently at the high school, also participating, continuing in unified sports and currently playing basketball. On the right-hand side, the larger picture is a picture of our unified gym class. And one of our students that's throwing the big ball is throwing it to the partners in there, and they're playing volleyball back and forth, engaging them all. And then in the middle, or the right middle, if you will, Alex Ilya. He's also now at the high school as well, also participating in unified sports, continuing and thriving nonetheless through both academics and this unified culture. Okay. These are some more for unified for middle school. These are from a game. And I think it's from Norton. And they're just some action shots. You can see some teamwork and some sportsmanship between a partner and an athlete in the larger picture. And then some also between our athletes themselves, showing some support and encouragement to continue and shoot the ball. And then we have a live action on the bottom. I can't really see who that is, but it looks like it's more defensive on Foxborough. I have to say we are in the middle school 2 years or 3 years of undefeated. Just have to say that. We're very proud of that.
I think one of the things that's been really cool is that we started with a unified basketball team with Coach Julia Schiebler and Coach Kim McDowell. And that's really where it started at the middle school. And it's grown so much over the past 3 years. We've added unified bocce and unified cornhole. We're adding unified kickball this year, in addition to the Special Olympics event. And then, as was mentioned earlier, we have so many staff members at the Adjourn who are involved in this, which I think has brought us to this national recognition. We think about all of our student leadership opportunities, student council, our web program, all of our leadership-based student clubs. We've been really intentional about making sure that we have students with and without disabilities who are getting those opportunities and having the opportunity to help with some of the decision making that's happening in our school. And that's a credit to everyone here and so many others, including a few sitting in the audience tonight.
Oh, I'm up, okay. These are some great photos. It's really exciting, honestly, seeing all the pictures because I've been in Foxborough. This is my 9th year here in Foxborough, so I'm looking at these kids that are now in high school, and I'm like, oh my goodness, I've been here. But it's just so nice to see there's continuity happening in our district, and I think that's really just that speaks to the culture that's been developed here. But you can just see, honestly, just pure joy, happiness, smiles. In the top corner, there's a young man who did not want to go in the gym at all, and that was a struggle. And we honored it, and his unified partner was like, all right, fine, we can just chill and we'll do Go Noodle. And over time, they were participating in our unified gym class together, and they were just thick as thieves with it. I think that was really just like a wonderful thing to see, because none of any of the supports with the teachers, it was the kids. It was kids helping kids and kids working together as a team to get into gym. And I think it's really great. These kids are all leaders. The kids with and without disabilities participate in the planning component. They participate in each other's communication. They learn how to use the other kids' talkers, things like that. And I just find it's really grown. And I already have kids this year coming to my room asking when we're signing up. These are more pictures of our gym class and kids just supporting one another. And if anyone needs a fidget, things like that, that is fine. You can see they're loving taking selfies in the top corner, because some of us are just on the go, and we found the only way was to take a selfie. But again, these are some kids that we put out a sign up to join our leadership team. It's available to students with and without disabilities, and I think it's really nice. The kids write a little thing about what made them decide to join our club, and they came up with some really cool answers. And at the end, I had them reflect on it as well, of like, what did you learn? What did you experience? And they just came up with the most heartfelt things that just made me tear up, because it was just so impactful for all the students with and without disabilities. And then when we got to see them out on game day, and they're out there with their buddies, like doing all the events, and they're like, see you later, Miss Colleen, I'm out. And I'm running around doing other things that day. It was great to know that all the students in my class had their peers right there to support them, in addition to all the other supports, their teachers, their specialists, their educational assistants. It's really great. I wasn't sure if there's any more. That's it. Okay, great.
All right. Well, yeah.
So we're currently in the Unified Bocce season right now, and as a collective team, we decided to have our own jamboree. So at the end of the month, we are going to have a jamboree with the town of Norton and Canton, and provide certificates and medals and, of course, popsicles for the kids. So we're real excited. And as Kevin had said, we have expanded our unified sports to kickball this year, and then we have basketball, and then we're doing this really cool, it's a bunch of different activities in April where, we do cooking, board games, Mario, what is it?
Do a Mario Kart tournament.
Mario Kart tournament, and then we end with our cornhole, which is another big hit besides the basketball. And we are just concluding our inclusive week. On Monday, we had Superhero Day, which where do you get your powers from? Tuesday was Red Day, assigned to stop out bullying. Today was Jersey Day. I think I saw more jerseys than ever, being part of a team, and tomorrow is Foxborough Day.
Awesome.
So it's really cool, and we have all other things planned for. We're going to do a Valentine's, what else are we doing?
Kindness Day.
Kindness Day. We have. So it's really, as Karen said, it has really, really expanded. And we're super excited to just continue to build our program.
That's awesome.
And I do want to say that Scott Foley is part of our unified team, and he was unable to make it, but I want to recognize that he's also put his heart and soul into building this program up.
Thank you so much. Maybe you could all just introduce yourselves real quick, if you don't mind.
Oh, I'm Barbara Gimba.
Jen Truss. Lauren Hall.
Colleen Foley.
Yeah.
Julia Schiebler.
Thank you so much. We appreciate it. We appreciate everything you guys do. This is amazing. I just love all the smiles. I love all the initiatives, too, that you guys have come up with from this and just building on this. It's fantastic. Anyone have any questions or comments?
I love the pictures of the older kids interacting with the younger kids. That's one of those things that I think is so huge for that sense of community that we have within Foxborough, and you see it across all sorts of things, and it's always great to see as the kids get older, giving back, because remembering when they were little too, and doing that. So it's great to see.
Thank you. All right, we appreciate you guys coming. We appreciate everything you do day in and day out. Thank you so much. And honestly, there's nothing else that we can say, but thank you. We appreciate it. And clearly the children appreciate it. It's very obvious.
Thank you.
Have a good evening, everyone. We're going to move on to our superintendent's update.
Okay, so hard to top that.
I know, right?
Just a couple of reminders. This was sent out in the Spotlight last week that there's an internet safety presentation that's coming up on October 22nd. Registration is required. That is being put on through the U.S. Attorney's Office and Homeland Security. It's security. It's one that they've been doing annually in the month of October, being that we're looking at, the anti-bullying as far as the month of October as well. So they've been doing that. It's not recorded. So sign up, and it would be a great informational opportunity if you've not participated that in the past. And if you have, the updates are always really helpful, particularly with the latest research that's there. The other update is Care Solace is what we have in place now. Interface might sound familiar to you from in the past when we had that partnership with William James College. We have moved that due to really need and being able to meet the needs of families and faculty, staff, for those that are looking for another support system for mental health. It could be for their families, it could be staff, it could be for their children. Care Solace, their mission is to make mental health access easier, and it is free. That information also went out in the Spotlight. We'll send it out again on its own, just for families to have that. It's also nice in that, for instance, if families have college students and they're across the country, it doesn't matter where you are. They can have that particular resource through Care Solace with their students, even if they're out of state, as an example. But really their mission is as a matter of being able to connect, kind of a warm handoff with different therapeutic providers if they need that, being able to match with providers that may be more within their area, and really just working alongside with students' families to be able to get the mental health care services as quickly as possible. And again, it's free. Doesn't matter, healthcare, no matter the circumstances. And that was in the Spotlight that went out last week as well. But if you have any questions, you can always reach out to any of our district mental health providers at our buildings too. And then the other update really is that our school safety drills, evacuation drills, we had the high school that took place last week. We have the Adjourn that will be taking place tomorrow. The elementary schools will then be taking place next week. Those have been, the high school went really well. Again, thank you to our public safety, officers, all of our police officers, fire, police that helped make that happen. And it went, again, really well. So we'll have the Adjourn one tomorrow. And if you're at the Y or around that area, if that's happening, that's the reason that you're going to see activity that's going on. And the last one is that we have our Professional Development Day on Friday, so there's no school for students. And then also Monday with the Indigenous Peoples holiday, so no school as well. So looking forward to a day full of learning on Friday. I don't know if you had anything else you wanted to add as far as professional development?
We have a pretty substantial menu of professional development on Friday. We're really excited about that. We have some training for our middle school staff on standards-based learning. We've been working on the science of reading at the elementary level. We're in our second year of some intensive science of reading training at the elementary level, and that's going well. And we have a number of professional development pathways that are allowing our teachers at the high school level to really take a deep dive into some of the practices that they've been meaning to work on over the course of the last few years. So we're really excited about the day. And of course, there's going to be some collaboration time built into the day as well. So our teachers really benefit from those days, and I know they're looking forward to it. Everybody in this room can't wait for that time to collaborate and that extended time to collaborate with each other. It really is just priceless. So we're looking forward to it.
Going to be awesome. Anyone have any questions? Dr. Burdos, Dr. Barros? No? Thank you very much for the thoughtful update. We appreciate that. We're going to move over to our school committee student report. We have Stevie Strahan here. Yasmin couldn't make it tonight.
So, first thing is that yearbook orders are due at the very end of this month. If anyone is seniors trying to get a yearbook or anyone else trying to get a yearbook, they need to be in by October 31st. And then there's a Costa Rica trip happening during February break. It's science-based. However, if you are looking to go for the Spanish side of it, it's still really great culture integration. It's happening during February break. The registration is currently still open, and there are informational meetings happening on Thursdays, roughly every 2 weeks. They're being announced in the daily announcements at the high school. And then in guidance at the high school, there is forms that are needed to be submitted no matter how you're planning on applying to college. There are the release forms that are needed so that the guidance department can actually send all of your information to your colleges. Those need to be submitted if you want to actually have your information sent. And then there is a trades event at Gillette Stadium happening on the 25th from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. There's going to be Southeastern and the North Attleboro Aggie are going to be there with information about programs they have for after high school events. And then there's also going to be multiple other companies with like internship information and all various things. So it's happening from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. at Gillette. That's all for this week.
Thank you so much. We appreciate it. A few days and you'll have a nice long weekend too. I do want to just say, in response to your yearbook statement, as someone who had a daughter that was on yearbook club all 4 years, don't mess around. Even if you think you might want a yearbook, sign up and buy your yearbook. Because the number one thing that happens is everyone at the end of the year wants yearbooks. And
yeah.
You know, you spend all year saying order your yearbook, and then, you know, people are out of luck. So thank you for your updates. I appreciate it. All right, we're going to move on to the Unexpired School Committee Term Fulfillment Update. Now, we're navigating pretty much uncharted waters for myself and I think for the rest of the committee. So I'm just going to let you know that we've done our due diligence. And Dr. Burdos, if you can just jump in, because I'm kind of going off the cuff here if you feel like I'm forgetting anything. But right now, we're collaborating per the policy, which we have made public. We need we're going to appoint someone for the remainder of the term, which would be through, the remainder of the term will be 3 years from May. So this will take us through May, this appointment, and then in May, the election will happen. And then people can run for the remainder of the term, so the 2 years. So what we're doing is we're going to appoint someone from now until May, right, realistically. To do that, I spoke to the chair on the select board because it is a combination vote. It's majority vote between the select board and the school committee. So what we're going to do is we're going to create a subcommittee. The subcommittee would be comprised of 2 members of the school committee and 2 members of the select board. And if anyone saw last night's select board, you'll know that Bill Yukna and Stephanie McGowan are going to be the 2 representatives on the for the select board. So we and this does say an action item. If we can just sort of maybe have a conversation and decide if anyone would like to step in. The interviews, what we are going to do is anybody who's interested in the appointment for the unexpired term between now and May, and possibly 2 years beyond that after the election, would submit to the community inbox so that we would receive their information. Any interested candidates would be, I will use the word interview just because I can't think of a better word, but for all intents and purposes, the subcommittee will interview all candidates, and then we will bring all the information and anything that happened in the subcommittee, just as you do on policy and we do on budget, we'll bring it to the combined meeting of select board and school committee to be discussed in open meeting, conversations on candidates, et cetera, and then we would then vote in the person for the unexpired seat. So, any questions? Yes.
A few questions.
Sure.
When is the deadline to submit?
I would say Friday. Right now, I think we're going to cap it at Friday because we had to satisfy 2 weeks. And 2 weeks ago, we announced it at the meeting. Per the policy, it has to be a 2-week lead-in. So I thought it would only be fair if we gave it another 2 days so that Friday, by Friday evening, let's say Friday at 5 o'clock, any interested candidates would submit in the community inbox so we can have a full list of anybody interested and we can know what we need to do going forward.
And then my next question is, the subcommittee, are they giving their recommendation to each committee individually, like the
No.
subcommittee, or is it going to be a joint meeting?
The subcommittee is going to perform, we are only a 4 of school committee would be a quorum, so it would not serve. But because the vote has to be between select board and the school committee, there's 9 of us, we can do a subcommittee of 4. So that subcommittee will clearly do the interviews and caucus. It will be an open meeting, it won't be televised, but it'll be an open meeting, possibly in this room. We'd like to, ideally, I spoke to Bill Yukna today, ideally, we'd like to perform these interviews like over next week, you know what I mean? So that we can hopefully, ideally, come back to our next school committee meeting and convene as a joint meeting and have the open discussion about the candidates, any recommendations for the subcommittee from both the school committee and the select board side, and then come up with information. Now, with that being said, we are navigating this completely, this is completely new, so I'm really not sure yet how much information, I'm sure that everybody will receive for only information on who the candidates are. I'm sure you will receive information on, we will be asking uniform questions like any other hiring committee it's not hiring, so I use that term just generalistically, generally. But we'll come up with uniform. We are also, have reached out to Massachusetts Association of School Committees, to our representative, to look for guidance from them. So we will largely be following guidance from them along with our policy, along with the select board. So there'll be a lot of layers. But I believe, though, there will be plenty of opportunity for people to engage in conversation and ask any questions that they need to ask.
I guess my question was more, once the subcommittee has the recommendation, is the school committee meeting with the select board together?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Again, everything's ideal. We're in this together. We're charting a new course here together. We're trying to do it with as much guidance and working off policy as we can, but I don't know that there's a clear-cut picture of exactly how it's going to be, but I think we have a pretty good start, right? I don't know. Anyone want to weigh?
So it's going to be, that election for that spot in May is for 2 years instead of 3
Yes,
years?
it will be for the balance of the term.
Okay.
Yes.
And then the other question was, so basically the purpose of the subcommittee is to conduct the interview process for it so that we can all see the interview process for it. And there may be a recommendation for the subcommittee, but still at the ensuing meeting that we have, all candidates would be able to be discussed and as options.
100%.
Okay.
Yeah. Yep, everything will be completely above board, just like when you go to policy subcommittee, you make your minutes, you make us aware of for information only items and things like that. And you make sure that because we're performing, just like any other subcommittee, you're performing on behalf of the committee at large. In this case, it's now 9 people, you know what I mean? So we'll do our best between Bill Yukna, myself, and anybody else who's on the subcommittee. Obviously, we're going to do our best to make sure we get our information out to all the committees, both the select board and the school committee.
Yeah, and committee members not on the subcommittee are still going to be able to attend. They just can't participate.
It's a public
so
meeting.
It's not a quorum.
Exactly. It's a public meeting. So just like if I wanted to come to your policy subcommittee, I could. It would get dicey, but
And
yes,
deliberate.
certainly, yes. Anybody who wants to come, it will be an open meeting, just like any other subcommittee. Yes. But again, we got to walk through it, but we'll make sure everything. We try to be pretty communicative. So, and Bill's great. So I think we have the recipe for a great collaboration, and we're going to work with Massachusetts Association of School Committee as well. I'm sorry, I don't mean to have my back to you, but yeah. And make sure that we're following the rules and the guidelines and the process. And certainly there's open channel of communication with everyone. Any other questions? I think I pretty much have hit the high notes. I don't think I've forgotten anything. No.
So I would say, do we need to appoint 2 people to the
I
subcommittee
think
today?
that would be good. I'd like to sit on the subcommittee as chair, where the chair of the select board is sitting on the subcommittee. So I guess if anybody else would like to, like I said, I tried to reach out to town hall to find out the availability for meetings, but I think during the day, generally during the day, there is another room aside from this one that we could use if we had to here in town hall. So I think generally we can be pretty flexible, but I think we're trying to execute this at some point next week. So we're going to cut it off at Friday. So say anytime between Monday and Friday next week when we can make scheduling work. So keeping that in mind.
Monday's the holiday.
Thank you. See, I knew I'd need you. So between Tuesday and Friday, we'd like to execute, if we can make it work logistically. We'd like to execute this, so going into a joint meeting, we can make sure all the information is able to be shared and digested, and we can be prepared to
You're
go.
going to do all 3 at the same time, right?
All 3, I would hope so, yes. That would be any candidate.
However many. there
However
are.
many
Yeah.
candidates, the ideal would be to do it at the same time,
Yeah.
yes. So, we do now have Zoom capability, so hopefully we'll be, but, it's, again, we're doing the best we can, so I don't think we're looking to set anything in stone now, but since we're an open meeting, having this discussion for the first time, if anyone has I don't know, I guess this is the time for us to sort of discuss if there's any questions, if anyone else has interest in sitting on the subcommittee, availability for next week, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. We've got to make it work. A lot of moving parts.
I can be available if needed.
Anyone else?
I have too many things next week. So, yeah.
It's a lot. I get it. And please do not think I'm putting pressure on anyone. I'm not at all. I know people's lives are busy, and this is at the crux of it. We are elected, but we are also volunteers, so we have to work around everyone's schedules. So I think that's reasonable. Any other questions or concerns? If you guys are comfortable, if you guys wanted to nominate Michelle and I, I'd hear it.
I make a motion to nominate Sarah Ladani and Michelle Thaxton to be on the Unexpired School Committee Term Fulfillment Subcommittee.
Second.
Thank you very much. Any further questions, comments, or discussion? All right, hearing none. All in favor? And that would be 400. So I can only speak for myself, but I will do the best I can to get all the information out to the committee at large and work with MASC, Massachusetts Association of School Committee, and the select board to make sure this is as seamless a process as possible. Thank you all. Thank you, Michelle. I appreciate you stepping up. All right, we're going to move on. We have a calendar revision that Dr. Burtis is going to talk to us about now.
Okay, this one I think is pretty straightforward. So the elementary is on a trimester schedule, and secondary is on quarter system. So you vote the schedule, the calendar, excuse me, and the date for the first trimester end for elementary, which is actually for grades 1 through 4, because kindergarten has their report cards twice a year, and not until January. We need to go back to pretty much historically where we have the end date. We take the trimester, divide them up pretty much in 60, 60, 60 as far as the days. It was first requested for us to move that date back when you voted the calendar previously, and it's become problematic in just the reporting period. So asking that if we can move that date back to where it's more typically, and which would provide that to be ending on December 1st. So after the Thanksgiving break, it allows teachers to be able to have the full term for all of their assessments and reporting, and to be able to better accurately reflect all of the hard work that's taking place. And then that would then move the second term date a little bit further into the next trimester, into March, ending on March the 12th. So I just really need a motion to make that term end date change.
Great. Did anyone have any questions or comments for Dr. Burtis on this?
Why was it originally moved closer?
With the Thanksgiving break, there's a lot going on at that time, and with having it end on the Wednesday before the Thursday for Thanksgiving, it's just, we've got conferences going on at that time, and so instead of having it the week before, it seemed like a better idea at the time instead of having it right there at the Thanksgiving break. But in hindsight, when you looked at the timing of all of the assessments, you wouldn't be able to get all the assessments in. And how that would play out for parents, quite honestly, is when we have a standards-based report card, you might have a 1 versus a 2 just because you haven't had time to finish the assessments. And we want to be able to accurately reflect the progress of our students, and so we need that additional week to be able to finish up those assessments for the reporting term.
Thank you.
I make a motion to adjust the Foxborough Public School calendar as explained by Dr. Burtis.
Second.
Any further questions, comments, or discussion on this? All in favor? And that would be 400. Thank you very much. Thank you. All right. We're going to move right along to Ms. Karen Sheridan for the approval of grants.
Okay, so in your packet, there's a listing of the grants that the district has received to date. And as you all know, they play an important role in the financing of the district. And each year, the school committee is required to accept the funds. So the packet has a listing of the grants. It also has a little description of each grant and the amount that we have received for the FY26 award. You can also see the FY25 and the FY24 if you want to see a little history of what you received for some of those grants. To date, we have received 10 grants, 6 which are the federal grants, which are the ones that you normally get each year, which is the Title 1, 2, 3, 4, and 2 special ed grants, the IDEA Special Education Grant 240 and 262. We have also gotten 3 state grants. We have 2 METCO grants, and we also have a new one this year, which maybe Stephanie can give you a little bit about that one. That is the Innovative Career Pathways Planning Grant, and then we have one from the Department of Health. The total FY26 grant awards to date are $1,571,500. And just to give you an idea of where we were at this time last year, we are up $211,129, so we're doing pretty good in grant funding this year to date. I do anticipate getting some more, but at this point, we're looking for a vote to accept the funds for these 10 grants. And I don't know if you have any questions on any of the grants, or if Stephanie wants to chat a little about this new Innovative Career Pathways grant, which is pretty cool grant to get in, so.
Yeah, so we're really excited about starting innovation pathways at the high school. Just to give you some context on what those are, they're essentially career and technical education pathways. They're not a full vocational pathway, but what they do is they provide students with a course sequence and opportunities to engage in some specialized courses and electives so that they're in a better position to compete out in the workforce. Innovation Pathways have a 100-hour student internship component as well. So part of this, you get a planning grant to kind of kickstart your planning. And we're submitting another round of our grant application at the end of October in order to qualify for an implementation grant. So this small amount of $15,000 is to get us started, get us some professional development around how do we structure and build these programs, establishing a planning committee that involves community partners and also some folks within Foxborough High School. Dr. Bertos is on the committee, as well as myself and Dr. Donovan. We are pursuing the manufacturing pathway first. We've already been in contact with a number of local community partners, including Mass Hire, which is a nonprofit organization that is working with the Department of Elementary and Secondary Education on these types of things. And in supporting local school districts and identifying industries that are available in our area that our students might be able to access. So you pursue one pathway at a time. I'm probably going in way more detail than you expected, but I'm really excited about it.
I love your excitement.
I know. I'm like a kid in a candy shop with this one. But we're pursuing the manufacturing pathway first. So we're working closely with some of our engineering and industrial manufacturing companies. We're going to need to tap into those local resources and get our students internships for this first pathway. But it's a first step in a multi-year process that is really going to expand and redesign our high school, and we're so excited about it. It's going to be great. More to come. I could talk for another hour.
I know you could. I love it. I absolutely love it.
And the other thing, well, thank you to all who were instrumental in getting these grants, because it did take a little work to get the grant and to manage the grant, so I thank you to all of them who have been doing that. The other thing, the grants can only be used for their intended purpose, so the recommended motion would be, I move the committee vote to accept the 10 FY26 grants received to date as presented and use such funds for their intended purpose.
All right.
Okay. I make a motion that the committee vote to accept the 10 FY26 grants received to date as presented and use such funds for their intended purpose.
Second.
Any further questions, comments, or discussion? All right, all in favor? We accept these grants with gratitude to all who got them. Thank you very much. We appreciate it. Thank you for being so thorough, too. Appreciate it. All right, now we're going to go on to community update. Michelle, I'm going to start with you.
Okay. Tomorrow, CPAC is hosting its fall fun at Wardsbury Farm, Thursday, October 9th at 5:30. So we had to sign up for that. It was so popular, we had to close our registration. We have about 50 kids from Foxborough and 50 kids from Mansfield and about 40 some odd adults on both sides. So that's nearly 200 people coming. So that's amazing. We are very proud of that. Also, just quickly, I'm going to briefly mention that our November meeting is digital citizenship and safety, which is also in Dr. Berdos's October spotlight. There'll be more information coming out for that. There will be registrations for that. It is a Zoom meeting. It is virtual.
Nice.
So, thank you.
Thank you. That's fantastic. 200. You're going to have fun. Ms. Sheridan, we'll start with you and we'll work our way
I don't
back.
have anything.
Okay. All right. That's cool, too.
I could talk more about innovation pathways.
Could you talk about PD and pathways, please?
All set.
Oh, thank you very much.
Football game got moved late last week to Thursday night, and unfortunately, the band's not going to be able to make it because of the late change. It'll be unfortunate. And down at the youth field, there'll be cheerleader appreciation weekends for the youth teams. So,
Very nice.
Last meeting, Sarah briefly mentioned it, but the You've Been Booed program has started up. So go on the rec board website, learn all about that. You can be your friends, family, neighbors, anyone you want.
So fun.
Showcase, cheerleading showcase at the high school on Friday.
Ooh,
at
youth?
1:30. All the youth, as well as the varsity cheerleaders, work with the youth. Those girls do a great job with the littles, and it'll be a chance for all the teams to show their routine. So it's one of those open events, open for everybody, and it's free.
Fantastic. I just wanted to mention that the school committee encourages people to visit our website for information pertaining to the ongoing collective bargaining process for anyone who has any questions. And that's all I have. Does anyone have anything else?
I make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
And all in favor? 400. Thank you very much, everyone. We appreciate you all.